Welcome, everyone. Today, we're really diving into some deeply unsettling territory, exploring these mysteries that, well, they really make you rethink what fear actually is. Forget just shadows in the dark. Sometimes the real horror is right there in front of you or, hidden in someone's darkest thoughts.
That's exactly right. And for this deep dive, we've pulled together, a lot of material. Real accounts, articles, case files. And the goal isn't just reciting facts. We want to look behind the curtain, at these chilling realities that exist just under the surface of everyday life. It forces you to question that sense of safety you might take for granted.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Our first stop is a place that, on the surface, seemed like paradise. Think about Cape Elizabeth, Maine. You picture it, right? Idyllic, wealthy town.
The classic image.
Exactly. And up until around 2005, people felt so safe, they apparently often left their doors unlocked. Almost zero crime.
Sounds unreal today, doesn't it?
It really does. Then this figure appeared. They called him the Cape Intruder.
Ominous name.
And his modus operandi, his method, it was just sinister. He'd creep into houses, totally silent.
At night.
At night. Goes into bedrooms and just stands there, watching people sleep.
Oh, wow.
Could you even imagine waking up to that?
Yeah.
Seeing this figure completely still, eyes wide open, just looming over you.
It's a unique kind of terror. It's not the threat of violence initially anyway. It's something else.
It feels somehow worse, doesn't it? That silent intrusion.
Well, it's precisely that lack of, let's say, traditional threat that makes it so psychologically potent. He wasn't stealing things. He wasn't physically attacking anyone, at least not initially.
So what was his motivation?
It seems that the pleasure came purely from watching people sleep in their most vulnerable state. There's a term for this, actually, somnophilia. It's a specific paraphilia, an unusual sexual interest focused on watching someone unconscious.
Oh, just watching was the goal.
Exactly. And what's chilling here is how the absence of physical harm creates this specific, deeply personal fear. It's not about your possessions. It's about violating the sanctuary of your mind, your unconscious self.
And he was good at it, right? Getting in and out.
Incredibly elusive, silent entry, left no fingerprints, no DNA, nothing. The second someone woke up and saw him, he was gone instantly.
So he never took anything tangible, just peace of mind.
He stole the feeling of safety. From individuals and really from the entire town, that feeling of being secure in your own bed, gone.
How did it stop?
Well, that's interesting too. His activities seemed to taper off and then stop entirely once the media picked up the story and it got big.
Really?
Yeah, which suggests maybe that the thrill for him was tied to the secrecy, the unseen nature of it all. Once there was scrutiny, the risk of being caught, maybe that element of control he needed was gone.
Or he just moved on.
That's the other theory. Some people speculate he might be connected to the Halifax sleepwatcher case about 3 years later. That individual did escalate from just watching to actually touching the victims.
Chilling. It makes you wonder, like you said, does the lack of physical harm make it less severe? Or somehow more insidious because it's purely psychological?
It's a really tough question.
A truly disturbing thought.
Yeah.
The Cape Intruder really exposed that vulnerability we feel at home. But what happens when the threat isn't a stranger watching you sleep, but someone you know, someone you trust?
And the betrayal plays out in public.
Exactly, for thousands to see almost. Let's talk about Stephen McCullough. He was a YouTuber from Northern Ireland known as Votesack7.
Right, the Doctor Who guy.
Yeah.
Toy reviews.
Yeah, that's him. Then December 18th, 2022, a truly shocking discovery. His girlfriend, Natalie McNally, 32 years old, found murdered in her home.
Horrific.
Stabbed multiple times. And she was 15 weeks pregnant. The reports mentioned defensive wounds on her hands and arms, so she fought back. Fought for both of them.
Just awful. And McCullough, the boyfriend.
He had what looked like the perfect alibi, airtight. He was apparently doing a 6-hour live stream, playing video games.
Live stream?
Yeah, from his place in Lisbon. And it was broadcasting at the exact time the police believed Natalie was murdered. Thousands of people were watching it. So how could he possibly be the killer?
This case is, it's a very modern kind of horror, isn't it? Shows how technology can be twisted for deception. That perfect alibi. It completely fell apart under investigation.
What broke it?
Police work. They meticulously went through CCTV footage near Natalie's house. And they found him.
Found McCullough.
Yep. Riding a bus away from the crime scene area. And the key detail, he was wearing gloves. A black glove, but underneath it you could see a yellow rubber glove.
Like a cleaning glove.
Exactly like a marigold cleaning glove. And traces of that same type of glove were found in a blood smear back at Natalie's house.
Oh my God. So the stream
Wasn't live. It was pre-recorded days earlier. The whole thing was a setup, an incredibly elaborate alibi.
pre-recorded.
Yeah.
But people were interacting in the chat, weren't they?
That's what people thought. But looking back at the recording, there were clues. He kept making these awkward comments like, oh, technical difficulties, can't read the chat right now. Things that seemed odd at the time suddenly looked like huge red flags.
So he faked the whole interaction. But what about flashing that movie poster, the James Bond one, No Time to Die, at the exact time of the murder, and saying her name? That seems risky. Almost like he wanted to get caught.
It's deeply disturbing, isn't it? Was it arrogance? Did he think he was so clever he could hide clues in plain sight?
Like a game.
Maybe. Or maybe, on some level, it was a subconscious need to acknowledge what he'd done, even while presenting this complete fiction, like you said, a twisted performance. He flashed that poster at exactly 9:26 p.m., the estimated time of death.
Chilling precision.
And at one point, he even says her name, like, it's just brazen. And then there was the phone.
His phone.
Yeah, they found his phone later at Natalie's parents' house. He'd apparently left it there, hidden, essentially as a bugging device.
To listen in, to see if they suspected him.
Presumably. It all points to this profound level of betrayal. Someone who should have been protecting her, planning her murder. The video meant to clear him became the proof of his premeditation.
The digital age creating new ways to deceive. Unbelievable. McCullough's case showed extreme lengths for an alibi. But our next case involves a different kind of premeditation. A fantasy turned into meticulous, horrifying reality in South Korea. We're going to Busan, South Korea now, talking about Jung Yoo-jung. She was 23, seemed quiet, maybe a bit of a loner.
An unassuming facade.
Totally. But underneath, she apparently had this dark obsession with true crime shows and books. And she wasn't just watching. She was fantasizing about becoming a killer herself, a serial killer even.
So this wasn't impulsive.
Not at all. She spent 3 months planning what she called a perfect murder, researching forensics, how to dispose of a body, everything.
How did she choose the victim?
She wanted a stranger, someone who lived alone, to minimize risk. She found her target on a tutoring app, a 26-year-old private tutor named Kay.
Just randomly selected from an app.
Seems like it, based on the criteria of living alone.
Yeah.
And Young's plan involved a disguise. She bought a middle school uniform, cut her hair, trying to look younger, less threatening.
To get inside the apartment easily?
Exactly. She showed up at Kay's place, pretended to be a student needing help, asked to use the bathroom likely to check the layout, make sure Kay was alone.
And then?
Then she attacked. Brutally. Unprovoked. Stabbed Kay over 100 times.
Horrific. And the aftermath. The aftermath is where it gets even more disturbing, if that's possible. After killing Kay, Young changed into Kay's clothes.
Her clothes, why?
It seems like she was trying to literally step into her victim's life, assume her identity in some way. Then she calmly went out to supermarkets.
After the murder.
Right after. Bought garbage bags, bleach, knives, or blades for dismemberment. She even cut off Kay's fingers to try and prevent fingerprint identification.
The level of cold calculation.
It points to this really bizarre core motive. It wasn't just about killing. It seems to have been about identity theft on a fundamental level, escaping her own life by trying to become someone else.
How did she get caught then, with all that planning?
It came down to a taxi driver. He picked her up late at night, near midnight, to take her to a secluded park by a river. She had this really heavy suitcase with her.
It's a suitcase
with parts of the body. The driver felt something was wrong, just a gut feeling. After dropping her off, he actually circled back.
He went back.
Yeah. And he saw her returning from the park area, but now the suitcase looked visibly lighter. His suspicion was so strong he called the police. That driver's instinct was crucial.
Thank goodness for that driver.
Yeah.
What did Jung say when the police questioned her?
Initially, just bizarre lies. Said she was menstruating heavily and stained her clothes. Said she'd given birth and abandoned the baby. Even tried to blame some non-existent male killer.
Just desperate.
Completely. It wasn't until her own grandfather pleaded with her very emotionally that she finally confessed.
And her motive, this shape-shifting idea, where did that come from?
She apparently told police it stemmed from profound loneliness, jealousy, feeling isolated. She wanted to escape her solitary life. She mentioned being inspired by a Korean psychological thriller movie, Helpless, which deals with identity theft.
Wow. So is life imitating art in the most twisted way?
Seems so. And psychological assessments showed she scored high on the PCLR scale, 28 out of 40, which indicates significant psychopathic traits. Lack of empathy, manipulation.
Did she show any remorse?
Reportedly, very little, even in prison. Just an unnerving lack of feeling about it all. And that taxi driver, he chose to remain anonymous. He was scared of her potentially being released someday and coming after him.
Understandable. That speaks volumes about the fear she instilled. These stories, they really probe the absolute depths of human capability, don't they? This deep dive looking at the Cape Intruder, Stephen McCullough, Young Yoo Jung. It really lays bare some unsettling truths, hidden evil, the devastating impact of betrayal, and just how complex and, frankly, terrifying the human mind can be.
Yeah, these cases really hammer home how fragile our sense of safety can be, how quickly it can just shatter.
Yeah.
And maybe, looking at the big picture, the most chilling thing isn't just the crimes themselves, horrible as they are, it's realizing that evil doesn't always wear a monster mask, you know?
Right.
It can hide in plain sight, it can be disguised as normalcy, or it can just bubble up from unexpected places inside people who seem ordinary.
A constant reminder that the real monsters might not be out there in the dark, but inside the human mind itself.
A truly unsettling thought to leave people with.
Definitely. Well, if these stories sent a shiver down your spine, and you want more true stories that explore that darkness, you're in the right place.
Make sure you check out our channel, Horror Docx.
Yeah, definitely subscribe.
Please do. Hit that like button if you found this valuable. Share this deep dive with anyone else who appreciates these unsettling journeys. And definitely subscribe to Horror Docx for more explorations into the terrifying unknown.
We'll have more coming your way.
Until next time, everyone, please stay safe out there.